Hello, good evening. How are you all? I hope you all are doing fine. आज मौसम बड़ा ठंडा है कि नहीं? ठंडे मौसम में क्या करना चाहिए? ठंडे मौसम में पकोड़े खाने चाहिए और क्या करना चाहिए? पढ़ाई का मन है कि नहीं? अगर पढ़ाई का मूड नहीं भी है फिर भी आज के सेशन में पढ़ाई का मूड बन जाएगा. ओके, बिकॉज टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस अबाउट सम इम्पॉर्टेंट MCQ इन पॉलिटिकल साइंस. सिंस तुम लोगों का जो CUET एग्ज़ाम है, द CUET एग्ज़ाम इज़ वेरी मच नियर, इट इज़ इन योर लास्ट वीक ऑफ मे, तो ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं है. द मोर एंड मोर MCQ यू प्रैक्टिस, द मोर एंड मोर यू विल बी नियर टू योर सक्सेस. ओके, तो सक्सेस का क्या फंडा है? फंडा एक ही है, जितना ज़्यादा हो सके उतना ज़्यादा MCQ मतलब वो करो, उतना ज़्यादा MCQ प्रैक्टिस करो और बी वेरी मच नियर टू योर सक्सेस. ओके, चलो तो टाइम वेस्ट नहीं करते हैं, चलते हैं हमारे फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन की तरफ. व्हाट इज द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन? सी, which among the following can be used as a biological weapon? So what is the question asking? Which of the following can be used as a biological weapon? The word biology is here. Biology का मतलब क्या होता है? Anything which is living, right? Living. So you see, what are the options given? Anthrax, tear gas, COVID-19 and chlorine. So which among the following can be used as a weapon? So since the word living is here, biology is here, we can say it is COVID-19. Why? Because COVID-19 is a virus. Okay, it's a virus. Okay, something which is living in nature, something which has a cell, isn't it? And you see what the rest of the options are saying: anthrax gas, tear gas and chlorine. These are all what? These are all chemicals. Okay, these are all chemicals. Tear gas is chemical and also chlorine is a chemical. So our correct option will be COVID-19. So for the first time when the world started seeing that this viruses and parasites can also be weaponized, okay, and it's the first thing what the world did. There was something called as Biological Weapons Convention. Okay, Biological Weapons Convention. ये कब हुआ था? Which year? जल्दी जल्दी कमेंट में लिखो. Which year? It was in the year 1972. So what does Biological Weapons Convention did? It prohibited the what? It prohibited the possession or building of any of the biological weapons. Okay, और Biological Weapons Convention के बाद क्या हुआ था? The next step was Chemical Weapons Convention भी हुआ था. Chemical Weapons Convention. Okay, this was convention. This was in the year, which year? It was in the year 1992. Okay, dates you see 20 साल का difference है. 1972 then 1992. First what came? First came Biological Weapons Convention, after that came Chemical Weapons Convention. So जो कि chemical है, अगर ये सवाल होता कि Chemical Weapons Convention के बारे में अगर पूछा जाता तो हम लोगों का आंसर क्या होता? एंथ्रैक्स वगैरह या टीयर गैस या क्लोरीन. But the question is asking specifically about biological weapons, something that is living, something which has a cell and something which can be weaponized, okay, for destruction purpose. So इसी को रोकने के लिए क्या लाया गया था? Biological Weapons Convention, which was in the year 1972. इसके कितने signatories हैं? जल्दी जल्दी comments में बताओ कितने signatory? It was more than 155 signatories and this one was around 188 or 185 plus signatories. Okay, let's move on to question number 2. What is the question number 2? Arms Control Treaty focuses on prevention of development of technologies like ICBM. Which among the following is correct about ICBM? अभी यहाँ पे ICBM के बारे में पूछा गया है. What is ICBMs? ICBMs का full form होता है क्या? Intercontinental क्या? उसके बाद बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल. ओके, इंटरकॉन्टिनेंटल बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल. इंसान का मुंह ही टेढ़ा हो जाए, इतना बड़ा नाम है. इंटरकॉन्टिनेंटल बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल. अभी जो नाम है, द नेम इटसेल्फ इज सेइंग इंटरकॉन्टिनेंटल, दैट इज अ वेपन और एन इंस्ट्रूमेंट और अ वेपन विच हैज टू ट्रैवल व्हाट? It has to travel intercontinental, from one continental to other continent. Okay, now what is the first option saying? Designed to carry nuclear weapons for a distance greater than 5000 kilometer. So 5000 kilometer में what is something more than 5000 kilometer. So इसमें continent आएगा कि नहीं? plus 5000 kilometer. Okay, plus 5000 kilometer इसमें क्या आ सकता है? इसमें continent के distance भी आ सकते हैं. Okay, from one continent to another continent. Let's say from Asia to Europe. Okay, so intercontinental ballistic missile, these are the, it was designed to carry nuclear weapons for a distance greater than 5000 kilometer. तो ये हमारा possible answer हो सकता है. Okay, this may be correct. So let's see, it's a correct about ICBM. यहाँ पे correct answer पूछा गया है. Which is the correct one? Let's look at the option number 2. What is the option number 2 saying? Designed to carry nuclear weapons and warheads for a distance not less than 300 kilometers. Not less than 300 kilometers बोला गया है. तो यहाँ पे this one may be or may not be true. Okay, because the distance is very small. Okay, the distance is very small. So since the entire missile has to travel from one continent to another continent, that is why we have to agree that it has to travel more than 5000 kilometers. So this one is true, but this one is not correct. Okay, because the distance here is very small. Very small for what? Very small to travel from one continent to another continent. The number 3, you see, ICBMs are designed to only carry nuclear warheads. No, it is not, because ICBMs are only not designed to carry only nuclear warheads. They can carry chemical weapons also, they can carry biological weapons also. It is only designed to carry weapons. Doesn't matter if it is a nuclear weapon or if it is a chemical weapon or it is a biological weapon. Okay, and the last option is almost every country in the world has successfully developed ICBM technology. ये नहीं हो सकता, ये गलत है. क्यों गलत है? Because ICBM something is a very expensive technology, right? Because the missile has to travel from where? It has to travel from one continent to another continent. इतना लंबा मतलब सफ़र है उसका, इतना लंबा सफ़र तय करना है. तो इसके लिए क्या हो सकता है? इसका जो टेक्नोलॉजी है, इट हैज़ टू बी वेरी मच एक्सपेंसिव एंड सोफिस्टिकेटेड. और इतना सोफिस्टिकेटेड टेक्नोलॉजी बनाने के लिए क्या चाहिए? बहुत ज़्यादा पैसा चाहिए, जो हर कंट्री अफोर्ड नहीं कर पाएगा. ओके, सो दैट इज़ वाई नॉट एवरी कंट्री इज़ इक्विप टू मेक ICBM टेक्नोलॉजी. ओके, तो ये जो सवाल था, यहाँ पे क्या पूछा गया था? करेक्ट अबाउट ICBM. सो वी हैव ऑलरेडी नोन व्हाट द करेक्ट आंसर इज. नंबर A, which is designed to carry warheads for more than a distance of greater than 5000 kilometers. ओके, तो नाम से ही पता चलता है कि ये कितने डिस्टेंस तक जा सकता है. Number 3, the yield of little boy was of how many kilograms? The yield of little boy, इसका weight पूछा गया है, कितना था? Little boy. Now who is this little boy? कौन है? Little boy is the name of the atom bomb which was dropped in which country? It was dropped in Japan in the year 1945 by USA. कौन से शहर में था? The city was Hiroshima. Okay, the city was Hiroshima. So Hiroshima में कौन सा न्यूक्लियर वेपन था? वो है लिटिल बॉय. ओके, द नेम वॉज लिटिल बॉय एंड इट्स वेट वॉज हाउ मेनी किलोग्राम्स? 15 किलोग्राम्स. ओके, इट्स वेट वॉज 15 किलोग्राम्स. और जो नागासाकी में जो ड्रॉप किया गया था, Nagasaki, the bomb which was dropped in Nagasaki was named as what? It was named as Fat Man. Or what was its weight? Its total weight was 21 kilograms. So you have to see the difference. Okay, the bomb which was dropped on Hiroshima was called as Little Boy and the one which was dropped in Nagasaki is called the Fat Man. And दोनों के क्या है? Weights अलग अलग है. Okay, now let's move on. तो क्वेश्चन नंबर 4, व्हाट इज़ द फुल फॉर्म ऑफ स्टार्ट? स्टार्ट का मतलब क्या है? जैसे कि हम लोग रेस स्टार्ट करते हैं, कार स्टार्ट करते हैं, ठीक है? तो स्टार्ट का मतलब क्या होता है? स्ट्रेटेजिक आर्म्स रिफ्यूजल ट्रीटी, स्ट्रेटेजिक टेस्ट ऑफ आर्म्स रिडक्शन ट्रीटी, स्ट्रेटेजिक टेस्ट ऑफ आर्मामेंट ट्रीटी और स्ट्रेटेजिक आर्म्स रिडक्शन ट्रीटी. यहाँ पे सब कुछ SART ये हो सकता है, STAT और SART. Okay, we from all these options, sometimes what happens, this one might look as a probable answer, but no, this is wrong. Even this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. Which one is right? Please write down in the comment section soon which one is right. See, Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty, this is the correct form of what? START. So START कब हुआ था? In which year? START कब हुआ था? In the year 1972. Okay, START was in 1972 and what its main purpose was? To reduce what? Strategic arms. Okay, जैसे कि मिसाइल्स वगैरह जहाँ से क्या हो सकता है, न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स भी ट्रैवल कर सकता है, तो all as strategic weapons from whom you can carry all the nuclear warheads or the biological warheads or the chemical warheads. The date is 1972, remember. Okay, now let's move on to question number 5. Which among the following are the correct objectives of building an alliance system? So alliance के बारे में हम लोगों ने पढ़ा था कौन से चैप्टर में? We read about the alliance system in the Cold War. Okay, the chapter which is addressing the Cold War, and Cold War में the alliance was one of the most important feature of Cold War. Why? Because there were two existing superpowers which was very much competing towards each other, and therefore what was the main purpose of the alliance system? Defense against military attack, identification of who can constitute a threat, increase effective power relative to other alliance, or all of the above. So इसमें सही आंसर क्या होगा? जल्दी जल्दी कमेंट्स में लिखो. आई एम गिविंग यू 1 minute. राइट डाउन इन द कमेंट सेक्शन फास्ट. ओके, सोचो और जल्दी जल्दी कमेंट्स में लिखो. देखते हैं कितने सारे बच्चे हैं जो सच में CUET के लिए बहुत ही जोशीले हैं, जो जिसने मतलब सब कुछ पढ़ रखा है और जिसको सारे आंसर्स पता है अच्छे से. तो 1 मिनट में टाइम देती हूँ तुम लोगों को. जल्दी से कमेंट्स में लिखो, देखते हैं कौन कितना आगे है. ठीक है, चलो. तो सही आंसर क्या है? व्हाट इज द करेक्ट आंसर? द करेक्ट आंसर विल बी all of the above. Why? Because the alliance system, we have studied that during the Cold War, the alliance was one of the most important feature against any military attack. That is, there were two existing superpowers which were competing and contradictory to each other. So there was always a threat. Okay, there was always a threat that this country might come and attack this country, or that country might come and attack this country. So that is the reason why the alliance system was thought to be a very good defense against a military attack. Then you see identification of who can constitute a threat. Very simple, because when you are part of an alliance system, then automatically what you have to do, you have to constitute someone else as a threat. Okay, you have to identify someone as a threat. Then only you will feel what threatened, and that is the logic of building an alliance system. फिर the last option is increase effective power relative to other alliance. Okay, जैसे कि for example what, if one country is not very powerful militarily, then in order to protect oneself from another invasion, what it can do, it can become a part of the alliance system, and in that way it can build a correlative of a defense system. Okay, it can take the help of some other countries in defending its national borders. So yahi objectives hai of an alliance system, and this system is actually a very good what, it's a very good feature of a traditional security. Security के बारे में तुम्हारे एक चैप्टर है. The entire chapter discusses about the notions of security. One is traditional, one is non-traditional notions of security. And when you study about the traditional security, there you have to study about specifically about the alliance system. ठीक है? Okay. Question number 6. क्या पूछा गया है? Which among the following statement about NPT is incorrect? NPT का मतलब क्या है? यहाँ पे दिया गया है Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. Okay, the word itself is saying nuclear non-proliferation. Proliferation का मतलब क्या होता है कि आगे ताकि वो बढ़े नहीं. Okay, proliferation, that is it is proliferating, non-proliferating. Okay, फैले नहीं ज़्यादा. ठीक है, उसको मतलब पकड़ के रखना है, उसको ज़्यादा फैलने नहीं देना है, तो उसको कहते हैं नॉन प्रोलिफरेशन. सो न्यूक्लियर नॉन प्रोलिफरेशन ट्रीटी वॉज एन आर्म्स कंट्रोल साइन इन विच ईयर? इट वॉज साइंड इन 1968. इज द स्टेटमेंट करेक्ट? यस, डेफिनेटली करेक्ट. हम लोग इसे मार्क कर देंगे करेक्ट. लेकिन ये सवाल क्या पूछ रहा है? सवाल पूछ रहा है इनकरेक्ट स्टेटमेंट, आइडेंटिफाई द इनकरेक्ट वन. तो पहला हमें मिल गया, ये करेक्ट है. दिस इज नॉट द करेक्ट आंसर अकॉर्डिंग टू द क्वेश्चन आस्क. ओके, नाउ लेट्स मूव ऑन टू ऑप्शन नंबर बी. इट रेगुलेटेड द एक्विजिशन ऑफ ओनली न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स. ओके, सो न्यूक्लियर नॉन प्रोलिफरेशन ट्रीटी क्या रेगुलेट करता है? व्हाट डज इट रेगुलेट? व्हाट इज द रियल नेचर? इट रेगुलेट्स द एक्विजिशन ऑफ ओनली न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स. Only, the word only is here. See, the word only is here. Is the statement correct? Definitely correct. Why? Because the entire treaty was built on the premise that nuclear weapons should not be left to proliferate in the world, because it has the capability to destroy the world. That is the reason why nuclear non-proliferation treaty only addressed the question of nuclear weapons. Okay, so this is the correct answer, but we don't have to find the correct one, we have to find the incorrect one. India and USA are the founding signatory to NPT. Is it correct? No. Why? Because India is not a member of NPT. India ने कभी NPT sign ही नहीं किया. Why India did not sign NPT? Because India found the terms of the treaty very discriminatory. Okay, that is the reason why even today India is not a part of NPT, neither it is a part of CTBT, which is Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty. So India किसी का भी part नहीं है. So this statement is wrong. और हमें क्या निकालना था? The incorrect statement. So this is the incorrect statement, but it is the correct according to the question. Okay, so this one you have to mark. Okay, this one is the correct according to the question, and this is wrong according to the question. Okay, according to the question. ये याद रखना, ठीक है? I am giving the tick mark not because you don't have to confuse this with the correct answer. This is a correct statement, but this is not the correct answer according to the question asked. So which is the correct answer according to the question? This is the correct, because India is not a signatory to the NPT treaty. Now last को देख लेते हैं. Only those countries who have acquired nuclear weapons prior to 1967 were allowed to retain the same. Is it correct? Yes, the statement itself is correct, because nuclear non-proliferation treaty कब हुआ था? 1968. And till 1968 how many countries have successfully attained nuclear weapons? 5 major countries, and those 5 major countries are the permanent members of the UN Security Council, that is USA, Russia, UK, France and China. Okay, so after 1967 those countries who are trying to build a nuclear weapons or who are trying to have a nuclear test are not allowed according to the terms of NPT. That is the reason why India did not sign NPT, because it found the terms of the treaty discriminatory. Now let's look at question number 7. Okay, क्वेश्चन नंबर 7 में क्या दिया है? विच अमंग द फॉलोइंग क्वालिफाइज टू बी कंसिडर्ड एज अ ह्यूमन राइट? सबका ह्यूमन राइट. ओके, ह्यूमन राइट का मतलब क्या? एनी पर्सन हु इज बॉर्न, ओके, एनी वन हु इज बॉर्न एज अ ह्यूमन बींग, बाय वर्च्यू ऑफ बींग बॉर्न एज अ ह्यूमन बींग, ही इज एंटाइटल्ड टू अ ह्यूमन राइट. अब सवाल ये है कि विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग कैन बी क्वालिफाइड एज अ ह्यूमन राइट. देखते हैं क्या है ऑप्शन. फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच, इज इट अ ह्यूमन राइट? डेफिनेटली इट्स अ ह्यूमन राइट. Then right to fair wage, is it a human right? Yes, it is a human right. Then right of self determination, what is this? See, in a country there are lot of different people with different identities, different cultures. So let's say for example अगर इंडिया में ऐसा कोई ट्राइब है, ऐसा कोई मतलब there is a community within India who believes that they have a separate cultural identity, they have a separate linguistic identity, and they feel that the Indian government is not able to secure their interests. So in that case what they can do? They can actually demand, okay, that they want to be part of a separate country, they want to form their own independent country. So this is not only true in terms of India, but it is true in terms of every other country. But okay, so this is called right to self determination, that is they can determine their own political they can determine their political future. ये तब हुआ था when India claimed independence from Britain. Okay, India claimed independence from Britain. So this is also called as right to self-determination. That is, India found that the Britishers are not treating the Indians well and the structure is very, very exploitative. So India wanted to become an independent country. Okay, so now since all the three are there, what will the correct answer will be all of the above. Okay, और human rights कितने प्रकार के होते हैं? एक से social right, one is political right and the other is cultural right. Cultural right. Now what is social right? Social right जैसे कि for example let's say a fair wage. Okay, if you want to have a fair wage, that is equal pay for equal work, let's say. And political rights, for example, say right to vote. Okay, right to vote, right to self determination, ये सब. And cultural right is like freedom of then you can say cultural right as in, for example, say gender equality. So all these are actually part of human rights. Okay, but they are classified in the three main divisions: social, political and cultural. Okay, I hope you understood this question. It was pretty plain and simple, but these type of questions are very much expected in your upcoming CUET. Now what is the question number it asking? Which among the following can limit the exercise of human rights? कौन से हैं which can limit the exercise? पूछा गया है limit the exercise, मतलब human rights को ज़्यादा बढ़ावा नहीं मिलता है इससे, ठीक है? Okay, now see, flood, fundamentalism, civil war and inflation. चार ऑप्शंस दिए गए हैं, चार और यहाँ पे ऑप्शंस का कॉम्बिनेशन भी दिया गया है. चलो बताओ कौन से हैं. ओके, तो फ्लड पहले देखते हैं. फ्लड से क्या होता है? फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ देर इज फ्लड देन देर इज लॉस ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर एंड लॉस ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर मीन्स पीपल विल सफर फ्रॉम हंगर. Okay, and people will suffer from poverty. So is hunger a part of human right? Hunger should always be, people should always be protected from hunger. Okay, people should always be protected from poverty. That is the ultimate human right. So flood से भी क्या हो सकता है? Limit the exercise of human rights. That is, human rights can be limited by flood. Then let's see the next one. The next option is fundamentalism. Fundamentalism मतलब radicalism, let's say. Okay, fundamentalism. For example, अभी जो अफगानिस्तान में फ़िलहाल हो रहा है, जो the Taliban regime is there. So what is the Taliban doing? Okay, so the Talibans are not, they are denying what? Right to education. Okay, they are denying right to education to whom? Right to education to girls. Okay, they are not giving girls the right to go and study in a school. So this kind of activity can happen under a fundamentalism. Now the next is the option number C is the civil war. अभी civil war होने से क्या हो सकता है? The civil war can disrupt government function. Okay, if there is a civil war, that is, it can disrupt the entire political process and the minorities will be affected. In this case, minorities will get affected. Okay, they will be displaced in large proportions and there will be lot of other things. And then you see inflation. Inflation से क्या हो सकता है? Inflation का मतलब क्या है? महंगाई. ठीक है, अगर महंगाई होगी तो क्या होगा? अगर महंगाई होगी तो क्या होगा कि लोग अच्छे खाना नहीं खा सकते. Okay, people cannot afford to have quality products. Okay, people will not be able to send their children to school. People will not be able to have good, good food. Okay, good life. So all these things are part of human rights. Going to school or elimination from hunger, then minority rights, then good quality life. All these are part of human rights. But everything will get affected because of all these four. So कौन सा ऑप्शन होगा यहाँ से? ऑप्शन नंबर 4, all of the above. Okay, so be ready to have these kind of questions in your upcoming CUT. ऐसा questions बहुत बार तुम्हें देखने को मिलेगा. Which among the following diseases or health epidemic can spread through migration? अभी यहाँ पे पूछा गया है health epidemics which can be spread through migration. Migration का मतलब क्या होता है? Traveling of people from one place to other place in search of jobs also can be because of war also. Okay, there are a lot of reasons for migration. Let's not dwell into it. But migration का मतलब है traveling, okay, or you can say moving from one place to another, from one region to another region. अभी यहाँ पे पूछा गया है which disease can be spread through migration. मतलब अगर if a one set of population ट्रैवल्स फ्रॉम वन प्लेस टू अ डिफरेंट प्लेस, तो साथ साथ कौन से डिजीजेस जा सकते हैं, विच कैन बी कम्यूटेबल, ओके, विच कैन बी कम्युनिकेबल. सो फ्रॉम ऑल दीज यू सी विच वन सार्स है, विच इज सीवियर एक्यूट रेस्पिरेटरी सिंड्रोम. ओके, एक्यूट रेस्पिरेटरी, ए आर जो है, ए आर उस पर फोकस करो. रेस्पिरेटरी, रेस्पिरेटरी का मतलब क्या है, सांस लेने में दिक्कत होना, लंग्स की प्रॉब्लम. ओके, अभी यहाँ पे कौन सा डिजीज आएगा, जैसे रिसेंटली क्या हुआ था, कोविड-19. कोविड-19 इज ऑल्सो अ फॉर्म ऑफ सार्स, दैट इज इट इज कंसर्न विद एक्यूट रेस्पिरेटरी सिंड्रोम. लोगों को सांस लेने में तकलीफ हो रही थी. तो ऐसी कुछ बीमारियां हैं जो कि स्प्रेड, दैट कैन बी स्प्रेड थ्रू द प्रोसेस ऑफ माइग्रेशन. ओके, बाकी जो है फीवर, अल्सर, ये सब इंडिविजुअल की बीमारी है, ये सब ऐसे माइग्रेशन की वजह से नहीं हो सकता. बट सार्स, यस, दिस इज अ एक्यूट रेस्पिरेटरी डिजीज विच कैन बी स्प्रेड थ्रू माइग्रेशन. ओके, इट्स अ वायरल डिजीज. नाउ लेट्स सी नंबर 10. Which among the following Indian Prime Minister stood for a disarmament policy? Disarmament policy का मतलब क्या है? Sorry, disarmament policy का मतलब होता है giving up arms. Okay, disarmament. Word पे focus करो. Disarmament, that is disarm. Okay, arm. आर्म्स का मतलब होता है कि वेपन्स. ओके, आर्म्स. एंड इसको क्या करना है, इसको डिस करना है, दैट इज यू हैव टू डिस्ट्रॉय द बिल्डिंग ऑफ आर्म्स, यू हैव टू डिस्ट्रॉय द बिल्डिंग ऑफ weapons. So disarmament policy necessarily it actually stands for dissolution or destruction of any kind of arms or weapons. Okay, now the question is asking which of the following Indian Prime Minister actually stood for a disarmament policy. So यहाँ से जो ऑप्शन है, अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी, जवाहरलाल नेहरू, नरसिम्हा राव या नरेंद्र मोदी. इसमें से करेक्ट आंसर क्या होगा, जवाहरलाल नेहरू. Because when Jawaharlal Nehru was the Prime Minister of India, he specifically talked about the disarmament policy. He said that India will never become a nuclear weapon state because India always wants to have a friendly relation with others until the year 1962. क्या हुआ था, इंडिया चाइना वार. सो इंडिया चाइना वार होने से पहले, मतलब जवाहरलाल नेहरू, when he was the Prime Minister of India, he felt that India should always have a friendly relation with others. It should maintain a very cordial relation with its neighbors, and therefore India should never focus for an arms race. Okay, India should never build a nuclear weapons because India does not need it. That is the reason why Nehru envisaged for a disarmament policy. But it was only until 1962 when India realized that India is under severe military and invasion threat. Okay, and the first nuclear test, India conducted the first nuclear test in the year 1974. It was conducted in the region called Pokhran. Pokhran कहाँ पे है, राजस्थान में है. Okay, it is in Pokhran, राजस्थान. डेट कितना है, May 18th May 1974 in the place of Pokhran, which is in the state of Rajasthan. Okay, and in the year 1974 who was the Prime Minister? It was Indira Gandhi. Okay, so पिताजी जो थे, पिताजी बोल रहे थे कि डिसआर्मामेंट करना है, वेपन्स नहीं लेना है, क्योंकि हमें चाहिए ही नहीं, क्योंकि हम लोग सबके साथ मिल बांट के हम लोग रहेंगे, कोई टेंशन नहीं है. लेकिन जो बेटी है, बेटी को लगा कि नहीं, मतलब पिताजी तो गलत थे, हमें क्या करना होगा, हमें न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स एस्टैब्लिश करना होगा, क्योंकि हम लोग नहीं करेंगे तो कोई दूसरा आके हम पे मतलब बम फोड़ देगा. तो ये तो नहीं हो सकता है ना भाई. तो ठीक है, सो दिस इज़ द क्रक्स ऑफ टुडेज MCQ. सो ये सारे डिस्कशन मैंने कर दिए. ये सारे जो 10 के 10 सवाल है, इसको अच्छे से देख लेना, क्योंकि इसमें से देयर इज़ अ लॉट ऑफ प्रोबेबल क्वेश्चन विच माइट कम इन योर अपकमिंग CUET एग्जाम. Okay, so if you are determined to clear the CUET, please have a look at this MCQ, and please write down in the comment section if you need any more sessions on political science, or you need any other topics which you need explanation, so that I can prepare the next video on this. Okay, so please like and subscribe our channel, क्योंकि जब तुम लोग लाइक करोगे, सब्सक्राइब करोगे, तभी तो हम लोगों के बीच में जो प्यार है वो बढ़ने वाला है. ठीक है, तो हमें बहुत सारा प्यार करें और हमें लाइक करें, सब्सक्राइब करें एट BPS Career. So till then, take care and all the best for your upcoming exam. and see you again in another class. Till